The film opens by introducing a 30-year-old man named Jerry, who works as a sports agent. Thanks to his exceptional skills and sharp instincts, Jerry is trusted by famous athletes across many different sports. His success allows him to earn enormous amounts of money, turning him into a very wealthy man. However, one night, Jerry finds himself unable to sleep. Despite all his wealth, he begins to feel empty. He realizes that being a sports agent should not be only about making money. Loyalty should also matter. The problem is that if Jerry chooses loyalty and focuses on fewer clients, his income will drop significantly. This inner conflict keeps him awake all night. Eventually, Jerry pours all his thoughts and frustrations into a written manifesto. Without thinking much, he sends this writing to his office so his colleagues can read it. The next morning, Jerry wakes up filled with regret. He wishes he had never written those words, and he especially regrets sending them to the office, knowing everyone will read them. When Jerry arrives at work, something unexpected happens. Instead of criticism, he receives a very lively and enthusiastic welcome. His colleagues praise him because the ideas he expressed are the same thoughts they have all been keeping to themselves. Jerry is seen as someone who finally voiced opinions no one had dared to say out loud. However, this reaction is not shared by everyone. Jerry's boss strongly dislikes the manifesto. He believes Jerry's ideas will damage the company financially. If each agent only handles one client, the office will lose money and profits will drop. The next day, while boarding a plane, Jerry runs into his coworker Dorothy. Dorothy openly admires Jerry for his courage and for daring to write something so revolutionary. Soon after, the office throws a party in Jerry's honor, celebrating him as their best agent. Jerry has brought in massive profits by working with top-tier athletes, and the company benefits greatly from his success. It is also revealed that Jerry has a very beautiful girlfriend. At the party, Jerry feels genuinely happy. His friends support him, his girlfriend stands by his side, and for that night, everything feels perfect. It becomes the happiest moment of Jerry's life. The following day, Jerry is invited to lunch by his boss. Unexpectedly during this meeting, his boss fires him. The reason is clear. The boss does not agree with Jerry's idea of one agent handling only one client, believing it would harm the company. Jerry becomes furious. He reminds his boss that he is the one who helped build the company's reputation. He calls his boss ungrateful and boldly declares that he will take all his clients with him. Back at the office, Jerry and his boss begin competing for clients. They call them one by one, asking each client to choose between staying with the agency or following Jerry. To Jerry's shock, almost all of his clients choose the office. They feel safer staying with a large agency rather than following Jerry, who is now working independently. One by one, Jerry is abandoned until he finally calls a client named Rod. At that moment, Jerry is deeply sad, but Rod suddenly asks him to dance wildly for no reason. Rod even invites Jerry to dance with him. As Rod is his client, Jerry has no choice but to comply. Jerry then screams hysterically, shouting, "Show me the money!" Acting like a madman in his office, Jerry somehow convinces Rod, who agrees to stay with him as his agent. That evening, Jerry leaves his office feeling crushed. All his clients are gone except for one. As he looks around the office for the last time, he remembers that everything he built came from his own hard work. He feels deeply betrayed by his boss, but there is nothing he can do. Jerry offers his co-workers the chance to leave the office and join him. Tragically, none of them agree. Only his secretary, Knight, initially shows interest. Jerry feels humiliated and realizes he has no loyal friends. In his frustration, he does something foolish. He takes the fish from the office aquarium, saying that even if everyone betrays him, at least the fish are loyal to him. Just as Jerry is about to leave, Dorothy suddenly decides to follow him. Jerry is overjoyed, grateful that at least one person believes in him. The film reflects that life can be cruel and knock people down, but God always finds a way to make them stronger. With Dorothy's support, Jerry regains motivation to succeed again. It is then revealed that Dorothy has a son. Her older sister scolds her for leaving a stable job to follow Jerry, who has no clear future. Dorothy, however, insists that she believes Jerry will succeed again. Meanwhile, Jerry is also encouraged by his fiancée, Avery, who tells him that he must rise again. The next day, Jerry meets a highly promising client, a top rugby player about to enter the Premier League. Jerry meets the client's father and fears rejection after being turned down many times before. Surprisingly, the client immediately accepts Jerry as his agent. Overwhelmed with joy, Jerry hugs him tightly, unable to contain his happiness. On his way home, Jerry celebrates alone in his car. He immediately calls Dorothy to share the good news, confident that this client will help him rebuild his success. Soon, the player transfer window opens. Jerry now has two clients, Rod and Frank. Frank is a star player, so clubs come to him naturally. Rod, however, is considered talentless and problematic. Because of this, Jerry focuses heavily on promoting Rod to club owners. After finishing Rod's meetings, Jerry approaches Frank, asking which club he wants to join. Confident in his abilities, Jerry believes he can make it happen. Suddenly, Frank betrays him, choosing to switch agents and return to Jerry's former boss. Jerry is furious, but realizes his own mistake. He trusted Frank too much and never secured a contract, allowing Frank to leave freely. Avery becomes angry when she learns Jerry lost his best client. She calls him foolish and says he will never be as successful as before. Feeling humiliated and belittled, Jerry breaks up with Avery. This becomes the worst day of his life, as everyone seems to abandon him. Jerry goes home, completely frustrated. He starts jump roping to clear his mind. Exhausted, he realizes that sometimes there is no one to motivate or support him, so he must rely on himself. He decides to keep fighting. The next day, Jerry meets Rod, his only remaining client. Rod promises to stay with him no matter what. Jerry realizes it is better to have a loyal, talentless client than a talented traitor. Jerry later visits Dorothy's house, looking stressed and confused. He laughs to himself like a madman, trying to escape his problems. Dorothy's sister sees Jerry as reckless and advises Dorothy to stay away from him. Dorothy defends Jerry, believing he will rise again. She believes supporting a man from nothing is more meaningful than staying with someone already successful. Dorothy's son grows close to Jerry, seeing him as a father figure. They play and laugh together. Later, Jerry behaves strangely, and it is revealed he is drunk. Dorothy feels sorry for him and reassures him that he will succeed again. Jerry begins calling club owners to offer Rod, but all offers come with very low salaries. Jerry confronts Rod, demanding he train harder. Rod jokes around instead. Frustrated, Jerry admits he is bankrupt and asks Rod to work together seriously. Rod laughs but promises to help. Jerry realizes Dorothy is the only woman who truly believes in him. He asks her out, and they have dinner together. They both admit their feelings and begin dating. Eventually, Jerry secures a small contract for Rod. Rod's wife scolds Jerry, suggesting they return to Jerry's old agency. Rod refuses, saying he believes in Jerry and that better opportunities will come. From that point on, Rod trains harder and improves. Jerry grows closer to Rod and shares his love story. Rod advises Jerry to be serious with Dorothy, warning him not to play games with a single mother. Jerry admits he is unsure, but Rod explains that the woman worth fighting for is the one who stays during the struggle, not just during success. Jerry realizes Dorothy has always been there for him. Soon, Dorothy faces financial difficulties and decides to move away for work. Afraid of losing her, Jerry remembers Rod's advice and proposes. Dorothy accepts, and they get married a few days later. Their families grow closer, often eating together. Rod continues training harder and improves daily. Meanwhile, Dorothy feels Jerry still doubts his love. One night, she asks if he truly loves her. Jerry remains silent. Hurt, Dorothy says she does not want pity and leaves him. The next day, Rod leads his team into the playoffs. Media attention intensifies. Jerry and Rod's family watch the crucial match. Rod plays exceptionally well but collapses from exhaustion near the end. Panic erupts, but Rod regains consciousness and his team wins. Rod becomes a hero, celebrating joyfully. After the match, Rod thanks Jerry publicly, even as Jerry's former boss watches in jealousy. Jerry feels successful again and immediately thinks of Dorothy. He rushes to her house, confessing his love and saying she completes him. Dorothy doubts him, but Jerry insists love is proven by surviving hard times together. Moved, Dorothy reunites with him. Later, Rod appears on TV, where it is announced that he has received a massive contract worth $11.2 million with the Arizona Cardinals. Rod thanks everyone, especially Jerry, calling him the best agent and crediting him for his success. The film ends by showing Jerry living happily with his family. He regains success and learns that sometimes God breaks a person down to show them how beautiful it is to rise again, and sometimes heartbreak leads to meeting the right person.